Hey family, welcome back. And today we are all about how to change in 2020. And it's been nasty out here today, but we got a second to bundle up and come out here and be with you now. So, how to change in 2020. It's a tough one, but we can manage. So, 2020 is all about vision and having clear vision. And that's the key to changing in 2020, to understand what it is that you want to change. So, when you're aware of what it is that is no longer resonating with you, what's no longer vibrationally in alignment with you, then we can start to really impact our lives. So a good way to go about this is to talk about it in three ways in no particular order. We have the mind. So with your mind in 2020, it's very, very important that we focus on focus. So what does that mean? That means being aware of what are we doing with our time? Like, what are we spending our days doing? And for me, I spent a lot of time doing things that didn't really matter in the end. Like, I was scrolling Instagram, scrolling YouTube, wishing I was as this type of person, wishing I would make videos and wish yada yada, and thinking that it was just going to come to me. But it wasn't until I really focused in on why am I not doing it now? What am I waiting for? And then I realized all the insecurities that I had about being on camera and doing these type of things. And once I was aware of them, I could address them. And so I focused in on the why, and then I could address it and take action towards my actual dreams. So change happens when you're aware, and then within the mind itself, we may focus on things. But the caveat to that is that the mind works in a very particular way. And so we have the subconscious mind itself, and we have the conscious mind. So for those that don't know, I have videos on that. Check those out. And so a quick rundown in this video would be your subconscious is most, if 95% of your daily activity is controlled by your subconscious. Your conscious is the rest, 5%. So not that much. So what you do daily is not really controlled by you most of the time unless you are consciously aware. And that's for most people. So realize you may not be most people. So if you're a yogi off in the mountains, you may have the conscious mind very much down. So you are always present and always in the moment. Because when you're truly present and in the moment, that's when the conscious mind is in control. So how can we control our subconscious to change in 2020? And that's by focusing. And by focusing, we can focus on our issues and realize what the deep down roots are, and then change those through a multitude of different ways. And that could be through meditation, that could be through affirmations, that could be through visualization. And what this is really doing is this is reprogramming our computer, because the mind is like a computer, and you're at the mouse and keyboard. So you're sitting there wondering how to change your life. And it all starts with reprogramming those old programs. So it's like there's a code in your mind that's already coded. And what your mind does is it's just a computer following out the code. It's not good or bad. It's not doing it on purpose. It's just what it's been coded throughout your life. So when you were a kid, if you had traumatic things happen to you, then you may be still in those codings. So if you thought you weren't worthy, or you thought that you looked bad, or you had bad teeth, your eyebrows were wrong. I'm just thinking of different things, but the point being is that you may have things that when you were younger, which have to do with the brain waves, but we're not getting into that. When you were younger, you were programmed a certain way, and your computer or your mind is still programmed that way. It may be. So addressing those through focusing on them, and really with no distractions, getting into them and getting into the big old meat of it and finding it out. What is causing my pain? What is it that I want to change? And when you're aware of that through the focus, then your life begins to change. So then we have the mind itself, and then the body in 2020. How do we change the body? So the body, and the reason why I'm saying body is because we are composed of a mind, body, and spirit, as the law of one may say. So we are not the mind and we are not the body, as also Sadhguru says. We are the spirit itself. So the body and the mind need to be in alignment so that the spirit may flourish and may bring through its ultimate joy and love. And so the body is the next key to that. So how the body would work is when we have to start moving, and we have to realize everything's energy. So I wasn't moving enough. And for an example, yesterday's video, I didn't want to get on my bike at first, to be honest with you. But once I actually started to ride, and I was like, it's this. It's nice. It feels good. And earlier I was having a tough time, so then I just got on my bike and I literally pedaled as hard as I could. And I know that sounds like kind of childish to some people, but I just started going. It's like you just start running and you just go full sprint. And then afterward, all those pain and all those bodily things that were starting to hurt, they just go away because you're so focused, you're so in the moment. So what I'm saying is we got to get that energy moving. We got to start moving and grooving and start programming that body as well, as it is a part of this computer that we're controlling. And we want to program it so that it may be optimal. So that may be programming it with your mind and body at the same time. By example, your diet. Maybe your diet is not the best, and then you're feeling pain in your body, and that would transfer to your mind. So these things are all correlated, and becoming aware of the correlations themselves can definitely help to change in 2020. So once we understand that the body needs to be energetically aligned, as well as the mind needs to basically be a servant. So it was once said that the mind itself is a good servant but a poor master. And what that really means is that it's definitely a listen to you if you take the time to reprogram it and to change your belief systems that may not be serving you anymore, or your vibration that is no longer in alignment. Once you do that, it's a good servant. But as you can tell, if you want to change, like I have for a lot of my life, I've been in situations where I really wasn't the type of person that I wanted to be, then it was not a good master. So then I had to change it, and that was through conscious awareness of what I wanted to change in the first place. So once we are aware of how to program the body and how to program the mind, then there's only one thing left, and that's the spirit. That's the beautiful essence inside, and that's what you are. You are that spirit. So we need to nourish that spirit. We need to nourish ourselves. And how we can do that is by doing the opposite of what Western society teaches, and that is not by doing, but by being. And what by being, probably like, Nick, what do you mean being? I am being right now, brother. But listen, what it is about, what it is being silent. What? Yes, being silent. And that's kind of crazy to some, and it was to me for most of my life. I thought meditation was stupid, to be honest, for a long, good portion from, like, I don't know, whenever I heard of it, until I started to realize that there's more to it. There's a lot of years in there, okay? So meditation is so important for nourishing the spirit, or contemplation, you could call it, because meditation is really just practicing no thought. Because this is what happens. You have the program of the mind going. So the program is going all the time. And if it's not going the way you want it to, then there's a lot of noise in there. It just keeps smacking you, telling, boom, you're not good enough, boom, you're not this. And you're like, what? And so what meditation does, and what truly being does for your spirit, is it takes all that noise away. It's like you have a TV on, but the TV itself is like just static. It's going, or if you turn on the radio, and for those that ever listen to the radio in their car, yeah, we used to do that. So you would turn the dial, and then you would hear static until you found what you wanted to. So that's the thing. That's what we're trying to do here, family, is we're trying to get rid of the static. We're trying to find, and by focusing, find that thing that we want to be. What is our desire? And so once the spirit can flourish by the noise being cut out, then we can truly change and become our fullest potential. All right? All right, family, to recap. The body, the mind, and the spirit. What we're trying to do is just get those all in alignment. We're trying to unconditionally accept our surroundings for what they are, and then channel that gratitude from the inside. And when we can truly channel that gratitude from the inside, our whole reality will start to change. What this is about is reprogramming our mind to change, so that once we change, our reality will start to follow. So thank you so much for being with me here in this now moment, family. And if you haven't liked the video yet, what are you doing? And if you haven't clicked my face and subscribed yet, peace, all right? Thank you. Okay. I'll see you in the next video, all right? Peace.